Okay, so this is Ji Wen. He's one of our national cyclists. What we're going to do is just going to give you a brief talk about what is good cycling efficiency, good cycling technique. So what we're looking for with cycling is basically we're looking to reduce our oxygen uptake. So when we're reducing our oxygen uptake, we're trying to ride as efficiently as possible. There are a few ways of doing this. If we start from the head and we just move down the body. If you look at Ji Wen's head, it's in a neutral position, looking slightly forward. Okay, obviously when he's on the road, he'll have to be looking at the road in front. He's slightly leant forward from the hip. This is generally a normal road cycling position with the angle here. Arms coming forward. Slight bend at the elbow here, which just means that it's got better shock absorption if he was on the road. If we move down onto the legs and hips, he's cycling at about 90 revolutions per minute, so that means his legs go around 90 times per minute. For professional road cyclists and elite road cyclists, it's recommended that they ride between 90 to 100 revolutions per minute. Most recreational riders ride at about 60 to 70 revolutions per minute. Generally, the faster you pedal, the less torque there is through the pedal, so there's less resistance each time you push through, which is why it's recommended to pedal at a slightly faster rate, especially when you're producing higher wattages, higher power output, which would be evident in professional cyclists. If you look at his leg action now, on the downward cycle, each time his heel drops back slightly, then he toes up slightly on the back. What should happen is that the toe should be going down slightly with the toe, and as he gets to the bottom of the stroke, the heel should drop slightly at the back, which means that this shin length is reduced. When the shin length is reduced, it's supposed to increase your power output on the downward stroke. So now the heel's going back, and now as he comes up, his toe will come up. Okay? You see this angle here? He comes up and over the top, come through. As he gets to the top here, heel comes down, okay? And then he pushes back with the heel, okay? Up, toe up, over the top, starts to move the ankle, heel leads, okay? So that action's called towing, and it's supposed to increase efficiency and increase power output, particularly on the downward phase of the cycling action. This is generally a normal road cycling position with the angle here. So this is what he would be like if he was out training on a training ride for 3 to 4 hours. As you can see, his hands are on top of the hoods. His back isn't very flat. It's quite an angle here. So this means that in terms of frontal resistance, the amount of air that would catch his frontal area, so his head, chest, shoulders, is quite large. If he was to get into a more of a streamlined or aerodynamic racing position, he'd just go on the drop handles like so, which means his back's slightly flatter, which means his chest is brought closer down to the handlebars, closer to the crossbar, which means you get this much more of a flatter back. This has the effect of reducing his frontal resistance. So his frontal resistance is the total area of his shoulders and his chest. Increasing aerodynamics means that all the power or the efficiency or the pedal strokes that you put through, you'll go further forward with each pedal stroke because there's less frontal resistance. There are a number of ways of measuring the correct saddle height for a cyclist. Probably the most simple way is to look at the leg when it's straight and the heel's on the pedal. So if you look here, Ji Wen, he's taken his foot out of the cleat and he's basically placed his heel on the pedal. He's put the crank down to the bottom of the pedal stroke. So the theory is that at this point when the heel is on the pedal, the leg should be straight. Okay, as you can see his leg is straight and the hip should be flat. So if it was too high, his hips would be off center. They would be moved this way because he was trying to force the way down. So his hips should be flat, as you can see here. His legs then straight and his heel's on the pedal. So when he moves his foot actually into the cleat, like so, okay, his leg is now bent. So when he's cycling, his leg will remain bent at all times, so it will never straighten. And this is supposed to be the correct position to get the most power when he's cycling. Okay, as you can see there, a nice bent angle, okay, his leg's never straightening, just a nice smooth pedal action.